Three, two, one. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is New Jersey Real Estate Investors Association Expo, and we are bringing you a guy from the New York markets, okay, who literally has built a 60-unit portfolio in under 3 years. Everybody's always talking about cash flow, cash flow. They want to buy properties. They want to get into the business of owning real estate, right? They want to buy something, let it appreciate, and collect rent every month. This guy has done it numerous amount of times. He's done it in his own backyard. He's done it out of state. This is the guy that you want to listen to if you have any interest at all in receiving what we like to call mailbox money, baby. Now, listen, we're going to be getting started here in a few minutes, okay? Letting people tune in. We already got over 15 people here with us now, and we literally been live for a few seconds. But if you guys are tuning in, please make sure you like and share. Send this out to your friends, especially if you have friends that want to change their life. What does that really mean? It means taking action, baby, and doing something different. So hit that like and share button. Send this with your friends. Mahir, how you feeling today?
Feeling good. I'm 3 blocks away from the beach.
Oh, man, tell us about it. Where are you right now?
I'm in Jersey, and at the shore spots. 3 blocks away from the beach.
I didn't know they had beaches in Jersey. Tell me, what beach you at?
I'm in Belmar. But it's a great time. I come here every summer, spend the weekends here, chance to unwind, get away from everything a little bit. And then every once in a while, I do a presentation like this for some people.
To help out the people who are trying to learn what you learned, right?
Yep.
I love it, man. Let me ask you real quick, though. And by the way, we're not into the presentation yet, but do you think you'd be able to be on the beach now if it wasn't for kind of the decisions and the moves that you have been making over the past few years?
No. So before I got in real estate and, I guess working for myself, really. I used to work at a bank. I used to be at Citibank as a teller. I was a part-time teller, I was a full-time, head teller, and then became a personal banker. I was working in Midtown Manhattan, right by the United Nations. I used to have all diplomats coming in and, embassy leaders and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty cool, but I had to go in at certain hours and, I was capped, and I never liked being that what my potential was capped. I couldn't only get so far, right? And there's a lot of forced sales, which I don't like either. So I remember I was walking around. I was literally going business to business to open up business accounts, checking accounts. Like I used to walk in a suit in the city, CVS, Dwayne Reed, like the Gap.
Man, we're here in the suit days. Come on.
I know, it's been a long time. I remember I called my friend. I'm in like a Walgreens that had air conditioning or CVS or something. I called my friend Sal and I said, "This is it. I had enough. I'm quitting today." It was like 9 months in.
Right.
I just remember it's like I can't take it anymore. We go down to the subways. It smells horribly. It was so hot. I'd be sweating. It'd be raining, whatever. And I went back to my branch and I was like, "That's it. I'm done. I got to put in my 2 weeks." And it killed my manager because me and my manager had a really good relationship, but he knew I wanted to do more.
Yeah, you wanted something different. I love that, dude. We're going to dive into that. Listen, guys, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. We have a lot of information to cover. The cash flow space is a space that is rarely talked about in detail, and we are about to dive in deep. We're going to hear some incredible stories from me here. We're going to learn some lessons that we absolutely need to know if you want to buy cash flow. Okay, Mahir's going to be delivering that information to us on this live event. And in addition to that, okay, very important, very fun, we're going to be doing 2 free giveaways throughout this presentation. We'll do one towards the beginning middle, and we'll do one at the very end. So you have a chance to win 2 incredible gifts that we're going to be giving away on this live webinar. So make sure you're paying attention, make sure you're staying engaged, and make sure you're having fun with us in order to win these giveaways. Now, real quick, okay, for those of you guys who are tuned in with us, please do me a huge favor. I need everyone active. I need everyone with energy. I need everyone engaging. Put it in the comment section right now and let me know what you're most excited about for the rest of this year. Let me know the thing that you are most excited about for the rest of this year. Here, it's going to take a minute for them to come in, so you're going to be my first person to answer that. What are you most excited about for the rest of this year right here?
I'm excited for all the seeds that I planted during the COVID break, and all that stuff is really starting to show right now. That's
Wow,
what I'm
man.
most excited about. Yeah.
We're excited to hear some of those things. Let's see
Mhm.
what you guys got. Put it in the comment section so I can pin some of these up. Write them in now. Let's go. Send them in. Send them in. All right. So it's 12:25, 12:30. All right. And we stop at 1:05. Let me set the alarm here. For those of you guys who are tuning in, make sure you guys use the comment section, Kate. Let me know what you're excited about. Send the paragraph, send the sentence, just say what's up. Put something in the comment section for me. I can't start until I get some comments rolling here, all right? Come on, send them in, send them in, send them in. Show some energy, baby. Show some love. All right, we got Chad Smith, baby. I love this point. Building wealth for the family, brother. I'm with you. I
Yep.
support you. Let's make it happen, baby. All right,
Mhm.
we got Gary in the house. What's up, Gary? Looking forward to adding a half a dozen doors this year in high cash flow markets. Gary, I'd love to know what markets you're investing in. We're excited for you. We're glad to be here with you. Angeline, come on. Come on, Angeline. Why you got to do this to me? She said excited about seeing Elijah.
I'm
I
always
appreciate
excited to see Elijah. That's a very good comment.
I appreciate you, Angeline. You're a beauty. All right, Nicole says, I'm going to buy a bunch of properties this year. I'm getting great info today. Nicole, we appreciate you. We support you, and we are excited for you. Kasari's in the building from YouTube.
Sorry.
Ayo. What's
Yeah.
up, Kasaro? Kasari. All right, guys. So let's kind of go ahead and get started. This topic today is literally going to be focused on cash flow, right? What does it take to build a 50, 60 unit portfolio in a few years? How do you do it if you have little money? What if you have a decent amount of money, right? What risks do we need to look at? How do we best protect ourselves? And what are some of the main things that we need to know? So first, before we dive into that, Mihir, can you kind of give us a little backdrop? Let us know what you were doing before you decided that, hey, I want to start buying cash flow properties. What were you doing right before you decided to buy your first property?
Right. So we were covering a little bit of this right before. I was in the retail banking space. I had enough. I quit. Right. Um, I ended up taking a little bit of a break, like 3 to 5 month break, just trying to figure out what do I want to do, and not be in a kind of forced sales role that I was, that was main jobs that were around. I ended up working as an intern at National Note Group. So if you go into room, I think he's in room 3, Fuquan. I
Yeah,
actually,
he's right next door.
yeah, yeah, he's next door in the next stream. I started interning there actually. I worked there for about a year and a half. As an intern, then as part time, then full time. Then I ended up training staff, doing trainings. I was in charge of a lot, and took on a lot of responsibility. And at that point, I had a conversation with Fuquan. I said, "Listen, I think I want to do this on my own, right?" So he was supportive, and the way I got started, as a test run, is I went to dinner with my friends, and I said, "Listen, I have this note business and non-performing mortgages where people defaulted on their mortgages. Now the bank is discharging this debt off their books to smaller hedge funds, like the one I was working for, at pennies on the dollar." I said, "Listen, I think I know what I'm doing here. Let's put $5,000 a piece in. It's 5,000 is enough where if I lose the money, you won't hate me, but at the same time, it's enough to prove a point. It's enough to prove like what we're trying to do here, right?" So I took in $45,000. There was 9 people at the dinner, 8 people committed. Turned the 45,000 into 63,000 in 9 months, back to cash. And I said, "All right, I know what I'm doing now." And we kind of took the two serious guys out of that, which Elijah, you know them, John and Sal, and that's how we came up with MJS.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, Mahir,
in the
John, and Sal. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone always thought the names were their initials for other people, but it was Mahir John Sal. That's what it was.
That's amazing, man.
So in the note space, which was like about 2014 to 2016, I raised about $15 million. In the note space, there's no lending. The way you buy the assets is cash. So cash is king. I had to be creative. So I raised $15 million in about 2.5 years in that space, and that everyone sees what's happening in the real estate market. Well, the trends were showing about 5 years ago where this market was going. As all the equity in the property started to appreciate, the note space had less and less inventory. So the natural move was to get into the real estate space, which I knew nothing about. I knew the paper side, the banking side, basically underwriting a deal on that side, but I knew nothing on the real estate side other than cash flow, which is that was the purpose in the note space, is to work out those assets so they start paying you that monthly mortgage payment over the next 20 to 25 years. And so when we went to the real estate space, that was the main focus, was how do we get enough of these assets that they keep paying us monthly so that we could be financially free.
That's great, man. Let's get into it because we definitely want to know. Talk to us about your beginning experience with cash flow in the real estate space. What cities did you start in? Why did you start there? What was the purchase price around? And how are you financing these buildings in the beginning?
Yeah. So yeah, I started out in Irvington, New Jersey. So Irvington is like I guess it's right next to Newark. I would say it's a similar type market, but the taxes are higher. I didn't know that. I just saw three. I start going on like Google, Zillow, whatever, and I start searching for 3-family houses. And I seen this one on 21st Street in Irvington. And if you know Irvington, New Jersey, 21st Street is one of the worst blocks in the city. And I didn't know that. I just saw this building that was for sale for $50,000, and I had enough. I figured I had enough money to at least buy something like that with if I could get a mortgage. And I'm like, listen, there's 3 families there. I'm like, even if they rent out $1,000 a month, I'm like, I'm probably gonna clear $1,000 a month. Like, it's gonna be great. So I put in an offer on that house, and I told this story when we did our cash flow event on Wednesday. The bank came back and said, "Oh, highest and best 2 on Friday or whatever." Like they pushed our offers back, and I got all nervous, and I wanted to win the bid so bad that I outbid myself. I went from 50 to 70,000.
So you were the only bidder.
I was probably the only bidder. Probably.
You bid against
I probably didn't have to change my bid at all, but I was like, I want to win this thing. It's going to cash flow. It's going to be great. So I buy that property, and I was working with a broker, a hard money broker at the time. So I guess their job is to try to pitch to a lender to give us money on that deal, especially with no experience, and in Irvington, which in 2016, Irvington was looked at very bad, right? No one wanted to lend in Irvington. Now everybody wants to lend in Irvington because everything is selling there. So I ended up going to one broker. They wouldn't do it, and the appraisal came out too low. And then the second broker, which was ABL, asset-based lending, they were actually speaking, I think, the hour before this one.
Yep.
I had to speak with Paul Ullman. All right. And I remember being at my brother's house, and he's underwriting me. He's not really underwriting the deal. And I'm sweating in my brother's house. Like, I'm sweating, like taking this call, pacing around his kitchen, and my brother's upstairs, like doing his own work stuff.
For anyone who doesn't know, Paul is a guy who shows no emotion. He looks right into you, and he figures out what's really going on.
It can be tough. We're good now. We have a very good relationship now. But
Good guy, yeah.
I never did a deal before, and I had to convince this guy that I never did a deal before to trust him to give me money, because that was really what it was about. It had nothing to do with the deal at that point. So I did he gave me the money for the deal. It ended up being 5 points and 12% on a 1-year term. All right. So everyone's like, oh, it's, they complain about the points now being three points and like 11%, 10%. I paid 5 points and 12%. All right. On my very first deal. Actually, I got 2 deals from them, and they priced them both the same way.
Yep.
So that was how I got the money the first time. I didn't know anything about hard money. I didn't know who to call.
Yeah, talk to me about that. What was your original thought process over someone wanting to give you money, and like what were the risks associated with, in essence, taking money from them?
Yeah, so the risk always when you take somebody's money is that they're more, like, the way I think of it, right? They're more important than you. Mm-hmm. You have a big responsibility, huge responsibility to make sure that they get their money back first before you take a profit, before you start taking cash flows or anything like that. You need to make sure that they get paid back. So that is always the responsibility I take when I take on anybody's money, whether it's an investor's money or partner's money, a lender's money, is that I'm keeping communication. I keep them up to date. If I'm having problems, I let them know I'm having problems, but that I'm not giving up, and I'm going to constantly find a solution. And the way I was able to find that solution, believe it or not, was I used to go to Nick's workshops, and I would wait for Nick to be finished at the end of the workshop so I could ask him like 5 questions about how the hell do I get out of the situation I'm in. So I'm just like, I remember just sitting in the room on Saturdays or at the end of a
It was
networking.
like the 8-hour classes.
Yeah, yeah, and I just wait, and that's kind of when Elijah was starting to be at those events as well.
Yep.
I would just wait till the end, and I wait till the end, like, yo, you want me to put the present, put the screen together, you want to put the chairs away, whatever I got to do, just to get 5 minutes with Nick, so I could ask him a couple questions, and that helped. Whatever information I got, a little bit of information I got, it helped. I didn't quit, and even though there was some difficult stuff going on during those renovations.
I think that is a huge point that everyone needs to kind of really understand, which is everyone always wants to be successful. Everybody always wants to win. Everybody wants quick success, especially. But what I just learned from you is that you actually, and this is a trait that you said about yourself, but it's always better to humble yourself and be a better student. And if that means putting chairs away, if that means adding value, however you need to have to add value just so you can spend time with someone, it's definitely going to put you in a better position than you ever could. And so after you got some of those questions answered, I mean, did it take a minute for you to execute on this information? Did you execute it quickly? Like, talk to me about that process in terms of you sitting here, putting chairs away, right? And then you got access to this information. What'd you do with the information?
I put it right to work. Literally, like as soon as I could. If it was on a Saturday, on Monday, I'd be making my calls. I'd be doing whatever I learned. So like I remember one of the things I learned. Nick was talking about. You want to target properties that have been on the market for 180 days on the MLS, right? And the MLS is where you list properties, in New Jersey or whatever. And so literally Saturday, I learned that information. I wrote it down. I said, this is exactly what I'm going to do on Monday. Monday, I go on MLS. I find this property. It's 31 Isabella Avenue. It's been on the market for over 180 days. They were looking for like 165. I think I got it for 135. Just because it's been sitting on the market for so long, had some rough people in front of the house, ended up being very nice people.
Right.
Sometimes people judge a book by its cover, so they see a crowd of people and they assume that those people are bad. I walked right. I remember me and Musco. We get to the house and Musco's like, "We don't want to walk in this house. Let's skip this house."
Oh man.
I'm like, absolutely not. I was like, we drove to Newark for this house. We're coming. We're gonna go see what's here. And I remember a guy with like a tattoo on his eye, like right by his eye, and one he had like a tattoo like over his eyebrow, and there's a crowd of people. And I was like, "Yo, who lives here?" And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Who lives here? I gotta see the house." And this lady comes out, super nice lady, this lady Camille, and she's like, "I live here. I live on the first floor." I said, "I'm supposed to see the house that I did, and I got in, right?" But that was just targeting a property that was 180 days. I literally heard the information on Saturday. I put it to work on Monday, set up the appointment on Wednesday, had the deal on the contract within 10 days, just like that.
And even to this day, you still own that property, right?
Still own it. Yep, I still know that.
That's awesome. So listen, for all you guys, we're gonna kind of do our first giveaway right now, okay? And in order to win the giveaway, all you have to do is answer this question correctly, okay? But first, what the giveaway is I'm actually going to be offering to evaluate one of your deals for absolutely free. Okay, I typically charge people $50 if they want an appraisal from us, which means that we send them comps, we let them know about the area. We do a lot of research that comes from our own. We typically charge for that, but I will send you comps on a property. I'll hop on the phone. I'll review the property with you. I'll let you know our perspective of the deal. I'll let you know things to maybe potentially look out for. We're going to be doing this all for free. All you have to do is find the property, send it to me, and we'll review it together. Okay. So in order to win this giveaway, you have to answer this question. The second you receive information based upon what Mahir said, how soon should you execute on the information? How soon should you execute on the information, assuming it's good information? I'm going to give it away to the second person that gets it right. So put it in the comment section. Put your answer in the comment section right now. How soon should you execute on information to be selected for this giveaway? Let's see what we got. Dan says, looking to be financially free next 14 years. Let's go, Dan. All right, come on. Put the answers in. Here we go.
So I remember when I was interning at that hedge fund that I got a lot of a lot of negative feedback from people saying, "Are you going to work somewhere for free? You're going to get nothing out of this." And the way I looked at it was taking a step back to take like 5 steps forward because I was going to learn a new skill.
Right.
So how we looking here?
We're good. All right, we got answers flying in. All right, Kasari won it. Take action immediately. That's it, brother. Shoot me a
That's
message, Kasari, and we'll schedule the call, man. All right, so let's continue on. So these first two buildings, right? I heard you say you bought two properties in Irvington, and then you bought a building in Newark. So for you, right, when you were just starting off, were you only focused on like one market? Were you investing in several different markets? And let's say you were only doing one market at first. When did you decide to start looking into other markets?
I don't think I was smart enough to know that I was investing in one market or another one. I was just looking for 3 family houses.
Right,
That was what I was looking for. I didn't want to do anything to do with flips at that time. I just wanted to get 3 family houses. That was my main focus. That was pretty much my only focus. So I would have went at that time if you told me I had a deal in East Orange, Patterson, Newark, Irvington. As long as it was a 3 family and the numbers worked, I probably would have bought it at that time. Just so happened to be though, I started buying things and it just kept being in this certain area, which was Irvington, Newark, mainly Newark. Uh, I don't know if I was really looking at trying to stay in a certain area because I wasn't even thinking that far ahead that, when I get big enough, I'm going to have properties scattered everywhere. How am I going to keep up with maintenance and things like that? All I was thinking about was 3 family houses, fill them up, probably going to cash flow at least $1,000 on each house. And I wanted to get as many of those as possible.
right. So for you, that was the main focus. Is look, I need multifamily. I need them to cash flow, and that's all I care about. I don't care where it is.
Yeah, I didn't think that far ahead towards maintenance and management. I wasn't thinking that far yet.
So for someone who's starting off, do you think having that perspective that you like, is it important to think about the management and maintenance when you're just starting off, or is it literally just like, hey, we just need a multifamily building where the numbers make sense and that's it?
Look, everyone has their own way of like of course, like you think about it, but to me, the next step is the hardest step, and that's the step I'm focused on next. That's always been my mindset since I'm a young kid. Is the next step is the hardest step. So like you can't focus on, oh, how am I going to manage these properties? How am I going to manage with the tenants? How am I going to place the tenants? You got to the first step is how you're going to acquire the property before you can, because you're worrying about stuff that may never come to fruition. So the first step is the step, and it's kind of like short minded or whatever. That's why I don't really do a lot of long term goals. I look at things as like what's right directly in front of me is the first problem I have to solve before I can even get to any other issues. That's just my mindset.
Yeah, I mean that's work for you, you know.
It
So
works. Yeah.
so let me ask you, what do you think's been kind of like the big secret to you being able to buy so many properties, especially within a 3 year time frame, 60 units within a 3 year time frame? What do you think's been like one of the big key factors to you being able to do that?
Uh,
Or if there's several factors, that's fine too.
I would say like determination. Like you ask anybody around me, right? As soon as like real estate conversation comes up, that boom, the light, like the excitement comes out of me, the passion comes out of me. They're like
Yeah,
guys who know me when we go out to the bars and stuff, and they see me as like this quiet, reserved person, right? But as soon as we get to like a speaking event and whatever, and they just see like stand tall. I love what I'm doing. Like I really love what I'm doing. I'm determined. I'm like tenacious. I want like, and I'm not gonna quit. Like there's no stop. There's no not gonna make it to me. There's just we hit a roadblock. How are we gonna solve that problem? And I think that's the reason that when finances were not as good, I partnered with people. Found different lenders, cheaper lenders, helped us grow our business, negotiated better. Just I guess that's the overall determination, tenacity. I think is what it was.
yeah, I love determination. It means you're a very focused individual. Like you know what you want, and typically behind someone who knows what they want, there's a deep reason on why they want that. So, are you able to share with us your reason for the things that? Are you able to share with us your reason for why you do what you do?
Yeah, yeah. I tell people all the time. It's all from my mom. So, I think someone said in a comment, it's for they're building wealth for the family. That's what it's about first for me. Um, you know me. I think I'm pretty reserved. I don't buy fancy things really. I got a car that I'm happy with, and that's about it, right? But everything else is make sure my mom's 60 something years old. She's 66 years old. I want her to enjoy every last day. Whatever she wants, I do it for her first, and whatever is left, I take.
Right.
It trickles down past there. It'll go to my father, or go to my brother, my sisters, or whatever. That's my mentality. I take care of myself last.
Mama boys at heart. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. The best.
All right. So let's get into this a little bit more. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think having the reason why is so powerful. It really pulls you through all the BS that we go through on a day-to-day basis. But let's talk about some more of the challenges associated with buying cash flow properties. So for you, right, you're out of the Staten Island area, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you're in essence investing out of state in Newark, Irvington. And how many units did you pick up when you were investing in Philly? And what kind of properties were they in Philly?
I got 16 houses in Philly. They're all single family row houses.
So you went from multifamily focus into a single family row house market. Can you talk to us about kind of why or what that was like? Because that's completely different than what you originally wanted, right?
Yeah, it's just you can't fit a square peg in a round hole, and there's that the deal. You need to understand what a deal is before you could buy a deal. All right, so that's like another thing that I guess I knew what I wanted from the beginning, and there's a lot of people who they come into the real estate space, and they say they want a deal, and you tell them to describe what the deal is, and they don't know what that is. So I knew I wanted three family houses in the Newark market, and in Philly, I know what a deal looks like there for the rental wise, and it was single family row houses priced at a certain point in a certain area, and it was happened to be West Philly that fit those numbers. Other areas, they might be priced better, but you can't get a mortgage to get out of the deal. Other areas, they're higher prices, and at that point, they don't cash flow. So there had to be a certain sweet spot, and that happened to be West Philly.
I like it, man. So for you, it was a big part of the numbers. The numbers made sense. So for anyone who's new, and let's say they're trying to evaluate their first cash flow deal, what do the numbers need to look like for you to where it's like a great deal, where it's a no-brainer? You're like, yes, absolutely, I'll do this. Talk to us about some of the numbers that you look for in your cash flow properties.
It all starts on the purchase. It has to make sense for a lender to give you money on it, right? The numbers might be good to me, but if a lender doesn't like it, then the numbers aren't any good. So you want to be in that 65, 70 cent range, which is getting pretty hard to stay near 65s, probably more towards 70 cents right now because the area is appreciating, everything like that. So that's the first number you need to know, right?
So what does that mean exactly? 65 to 70? Like, can you give me an example of that?
Okay, so like a house in Philly, right? Your all-in number probably needs to be around 95,000. All right, because that means the house is probably going to appraise for 125 to 135. All right, so if you're in that all-in number 95, means your purchase and your rehab's got to be completed for 95,000, and that'll probably get you to about 70%. All right, and the reason you want to be at 70% is one, your hard money lender is going to lend to you at that, and when you refi out, your refi lender is probably going to lend you at 75%. So that'll kind of cover your holding costs, closing costs, stuff like that in the middle. All right. And then from there, when you refi out at 75%, your debt service coverage, which is, the money that comes in minus the mortgage that's got to go out, needs to cover a certain amount. Usually it's at 1.25. So if it's a $1,000 mortgage payment, you need to have a 1,250 rent payment coming in, right? So usually my deals are around like 1.4, 1.45. That's usually where my deals are. And so the reason I want to be at 1.45 is because I know that true numbers. So at 1.25, technically you should be good, right? But things happen. Things are not perfect. And at 1.4, 1.45, now you covered for that, and you're still making money.
Right. Yeah, so that's the criteria that you in essence look for. Now, what markets are you seeing today where those numbers exist? Do they still exist in the same markets that you've been buying in for the past 3 years, or have things changed?
I would say things change a little bit. Yeah, I would say things change a little bit. It's like, all right, let's just use an area like Newark, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
seeing a lot of three family and 4-family opportunities. You're seeing a lot of 2-family flips, a lot of single-family flips. Same in Philly. So actually, not the same in Philly. Philly, there's still a lot of deals. You can still find deals and get that 1.4 debt service coverage, be all in around 90, appraisal at 125, 130. You can still find deals like that for sure. My focus has kind of changed into because of kind of what I've gone through over this last like 5 months or so since Corona. It's been focusing on in a certain market and really mastering it and really dominating in that market. And so there's still a lot of opportunities in Philly though. That'll be in that number, that price range.
So Philly's still kind of a good market if you're wanting to clear the 1.4, 1.5 DSCR
Yeah.
and still get what do those cash flow numbers look like in terms of amount that you would collect per month, roughly?
Yeah, so you should be clearing about $400 a month, $300 to $400 a month
Per door.
per door. Yeah.
And what expenses are you factoring in for that?
You take 5%, for maintenance and things like that. And the common things that come up is, sink clogged, snake out basement or something like that. Um, you know, so hopefully you do a good underwriting process with your tenants that you don't have to have a lot of maintenance issues, and you do a good renovation in the first place.
Right.
You don't have to go back and do work 2-3 times to correct something. So you don't want to cheap out on the construction
At all.
You want
Right.
that done right the first time, so that because you never want to have to open up walls to fix problems that wasn't done correctly the first time.
And that's coming from experience.
Yes. On the surface, you got to fix a cracked tile. You got to fix a clogged sink. On the surface, those stuff is easy maintenance stuff. But when you have to go behind the walls, those are more expensive maintenance items.
So what we got? We got 5% for maintenance. Is there anything else you factor into the expenses?
5% vacancy, and I do my own management, so I take that out. But normally you factor in at least 5% for management as well.
And then what else we got? We got the you doing debt and that, and taxes and insurance.
So in Philly, they're paying all their own utilities. They're paying the gas, water, and electric.
Boom.
In Newark, I'm going to factor in another, because in Newark, I'll just cover the common areas, which is like
Right.
the ways in the basement. So I'll be like $25 a month. I'll do water, $150 a month. I'll do, mortgage, taxes, insurance is all in the mortgage payment. So I don't know if I'm missing anything.
No, that's good. That's the main ones. That's the basis of it. So for anyone who's just kind of looking for some good cash flow markets, then Philly's definitely a market to look into.
Yeah. There's still opportunity in Philly for sure. You can talk
Right.
to Sean.
Guys, if you guys have any questions for me here, we have a few minutes for questions. Put your questions up in the comment section, and we will pull them up for you now. So pull up the questions. So over here, when you're trying to find deals in out-of-state markets like Philly, what's like 1 to 2 ways that you normally do it?
The first thing that I'm looking for is am I going to be able to refi out, right? Because there's minimums that lenders will not lend on. If you're all in on a property like in Trenton, let's just say, at $50,000, $45,000, because you can buy properties pretty cheap there, and they'll cash flow great.
Right.
But how are you going to get your money back out? Because there's only so many $40,000, $50,000 you have in your bank account or between your friends and family, right? And eventually you got to cash those people out. So that's one of the things I looked at. And that's why I didn't buy in certain areas of Philly, and the reason I bought in West Philly. Another thing is landlord-tenant laws. You want to be familiar with that stuff. Good or bad, you need to understand what you're getting into and what's the requirements over there. So those are two things that I would look at before you enter any kind of – if you're looking for cash flow that you want to look at.
Yeah, those are freaking incredible points for sure. You know, how are you going to get the money back? And then what are the laws like, especially if you need to do evictions, you know? That's good stuff, man. All right. So listen, guys, we're going to be doing our last giveaway for this live call. Okay. This giveaway is actually going to be Mahir. Mahir's going to be offering literally 15 to 20 minutes of his time, and he will also hop on the phone with you and help you evaluate a deal. So if you have a deal that you're looking at, you need help making a decision on it, Mahir is literally going to hop on the phone, let you know exactly how he's looking at it, what risk he's seeing, and, you know, if it's a good deal, he'll let you know on the phone. Okay. So if you'd like, in order to win that, all you have to do is answer this question in the comment section. Okay. So I'm going to give this away to the second person that gets it right. So get your answers in quick. Okay. The question is this: what city does Mahir say is a good cash flow city to invest in? What city does Mahir say is a good cash flow city to invest in? Put it in the comment section right now. Second person that gets it, and you can comment twice. Okay, you can comment twice. Second person that gets it is going to get the free call with Mahir, and we'll schedule it today. So put it in the comment section now. Let's see what you guys got.
He has a lot of people. How come they're not like coming? Oh, there's a lag.
There's the lag, yeah. There's like an hour-long lag.
No, we got like 5 computers running over here. So
yeah, got on the internet. So Mahir, while these comments are coming in, what would you say for someone who's brand new? Like, how would you recommend they kind of get started with buying their first cash flow property?
Figure out what they really want, right? Like, because you can do a lot of cash flow properties, right? You could buy an apartment complex, you could buy a 3-family, you could buy a single family, and figure out a couple of things, right? What do you really want? How are you gonna put the money together? Have you been pre-approved by a hard money lender, or maybe you do an FHA and you live in the house for the first year, you move out, you let someone move in. Have you been approved by some kind of mortgage lender? And then start figuring out how you're going to source that deal. Are you going to partner with wholesalers? Are you going to partner with realtors? Are you going to do some research yourself? Are you going to spend money into marketing like Kyrie was on? There's a lot of Facebook ads, targeted ads. Do you care if it's in your home state? Do you want to be in your home state only? There's people who want to do that. Or do you not mind buying a house in Texas or Florida or Philadelphia or something like that? You got to understand your comfort level.
Yeah, understanding yourself and understanding what your goals and needs are is actually step number one.
Yep.
And then once you understand what you want, what your expectations are, then it comes down to, like you said, finding a market that will provide that. I love that, man. All right, so I don't know if it's my internet connection or what's up, or if my people just aren't commenting, but I'm going to give that one away to someone random. So we're going to give it away to Nicole. Nicole is going to be the winner for that. Nicole, shoot me a message on Facebook. I'm going to connect you and Mahir so you guys can schedule a call. This way, when you have a deal and you want help looking at it, it can be any deal at all. Wherever you find it from, you just want another perspective on it. Mahir will give you that perspective of that deal. So Nicole and Kasari, you were the winners of the giveaway. Shoot me a message. I'll make sure you guys get the correct information and take the next steps. Mahir, it's been a pleasure. You've provided so much value to all of us. We're so grateful for you. For anyone who was interested in just keeping up with you, I know you're making a lot of moves right now, or maybe we just wanted to, follow your journey or stay in touch with you or talk about maybe, lending and all that stuff. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
Yeah, just find me on Facebook, Matt Allan, on Facebook. I'm friends with Elijah. So find Elijah, find me through there. I do Facebook Lives. I'll do like updates on there.
Yeah, your video walkthroughs. Those things are killer, man. I love them.
They're fun. They're fun.
All right, Mahir. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you add him on Facebook. Get friends with him. Get to know him. He's a good guy to be around. Matt, we're so grateful for you. Thank you for your time, brother.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. We'll see you around. Enjoy the beach. Send us pics at the beach, by the way, all right?
I will.
All right, see you guys. We're on for the next show. Bye-bye.